Hi, and welcome to your Quick Bite. This is presented by a grant from the National Science Foundation entitled Skilled Workers Get Jobs. Today I'm going to talk about a few ideas for what to do the first day of an online class. This is definitely a stressful time for all of us. We've learned how to teach seated. We know what to do the first day of class when students are coming into our classroom. But what do we do when the class is an online class? First of all, before the first meeting, check out the technology you're going to be using. Determine what features you're going to be using. I use Zoom and it has some survey features. It has different views I can use. The first day of class is not the time to try these. You want to make sure that you test it out ahead of time. And I have a couple of my colleagues that I'll ask, can I set up a Zoom meeting with you quick and be able to see how these features are going to work, or I want to try this feature? It's kind of nice because I've learned things from my colleagues by doing this. You want to be stress-free the first day. In the first minutes of class, think about what you're going to share. You'll have a bio, and you might have always shared the same things in classes. Write it down. When you're online, it's very easy to forget what you have. Ask students to do the same. You might, if you can, send an email to them or a message ahead of time saying, I'm looking forward to having you in the class. Be prepared to tell one or two things about yourself. And you can also have students post something in the forum for introductions. People don't remember what they're listened to as much as they remember what is written. Learn names. If you have a waiting room that you're going to greet students, then greet them by name when you let them into your class. Use a gallery view to show the pictures. That way you're able to see all the pictures of everyone. And do ask students their preferred name. Many students don't use the name that their parents gave them. Probably one of my more unusual ones is someone who had a really great first name in my opinion. It was Lileia. She used Jane. And make sure their name is visible and that it is their preferred name. Depending on your program, you might be able to change it or the student might be able to change it, but do make sure that you're learning names and faces because it's going to be a little bit harder with an online class. Think about how you're going to do introductions. Once again, introduce yourself, then call on students to introduce themselves. Have a plan for how you're going to do it. For example, you might ask a student to introduce themselves and then ask them to call on the next student. Or you might be looking at your gallery view and working your way down the roster, or you might be looking at a printed roster for it. But do make sure that all students are called on. Then do something to reach the commonalities that students have. Ask students to determine what everyone has in common based on their introductions. Or you can find out other items. For example, you might ask how many people have a pet at all or have a dog. One thing that I'm doing with my fall class is I'm sending a welcoming email and it's going to have about 5 questions on it. One is going to be favorite food. Another is going to be, do you have pets? And if so, what kind? And the first day of class, I plan on asking of saying, okay, 5 students in the class have a dog. Any guesses as to which 5 those are? So I'm going to have some commonalities that I know the answer to. And all of these are things that you can do the very first class meeting, or you can spread it out over other ones and just figure out what's going to work for you, but work at creating the sense of community. This work, as I said, is as a result of a National Science Foundation grant we have. And if you have any questions, please email me at PamelaJSilvers@abtech.edu. Thank you.